Have you ever walked into a room feeling completely normal, and then suddenly someone says, "Wow, you look tired today." And instantly your brain goes, "Wait, do I look tired?" Now you're checking mirrors, fixing your hair, questioning your entire existence, maybe even planning a skincare routine at 2 a.m. That is the power of suggestion. One tiny sentence and boom, your brain downloads it like suspicious free software. The scary part? Most of the time, you don't even notice it happening. Humans like to think we're independent thinkers. We imagine ourselves as wise, intellectual creatures making logical decisions. But honestly, half the time we're just emotional parrots wearing pants. Think about it. You weren't hungry until someone mentioned pizza. You weren't insecure until social media showed you a 19-year-old millionaire doing backflips on a yacht. You weren't worried about your future until one relative asked, "So, what are you doing with your life these days?" That sentence alone has destroyed more peace than horror movies. Suggestion is weird because it doesn't force you. It plants. It whispers. It sneaks into your brain wearing sunglasses like a psychological ninja. And once the idea enters, your mind starts decorating the room for it. That's why advertising works. A commercial doesn't just say, "Buy this perfume." No, it shows a guy spraying perfume and suddenly he's on a rooftop in Italy surrounded by attractive people while slow-motion wind attacks his hair. Your brain sees that and goes, "Interesting. Perhaps deodorant is the key to happiness." Meanwhile, the guy in real life buys the perfume and still eats instant noodles alone watching conspiracy videos at midnight. Because suggestion doesn't sell products, it sells feelings, confidence, status, belonging, attention. And social media? Oh, social media is basically suggestion on steroids. One person says, "Wake up at 5 a.m. to become successful." Now, millions of people are waking up before sunrise looking like confused zombies. Half of them aren't productive, they're just awake earlier while suffering. Then another influencer says, "Cold showers change your life." And suddenly, grown adults are voluntarily freezing themselves every morning hoping to unlock secret powers. At this point, humans are one motivational podcast away from living in caves again. But suggestion becomes really dangerous when it affects how you see yourself. Maybe someone in school called you quiet. Now, years later, you still believe, "I'm just not confident." Maybe someone once laughed at your idea. Now your brain avoids speaking up forever. One random comment can become part of your identity. That's terrifying, because people throw words casually, but the brain collects them like emotional souvenirs. And here's the craziest part. Even fake suggestions can create real effects. There's something called the placebo effect. Basically, if people believe something will help them, sometimes their body actually responds positively. Imagine taking a fake pill and feeling better because your brain said, "Ah yes, medicine mode activated." Your mind is so powerful it can literally trick your body, which also explains why overthinking can make you feel sick. Your brain hears, "What if something's wrong?" And suddenly your stomach becomes a theater production. Humans are incredibly suggestible creatures. That's why fear spreads fast, why trends explode, why crowds influence behavior. If 10 people around you panic, your brain immediately goes, "Okay, cool, we panic now." Nobody even asks questions anymore. One person screams, everyone runs, and then later someone asks, "Wait, why were we running?" And another person says, "I don't know, I thought you knew." Civilization in a nutshell. But suggestion isn't always bad. It can also heal, motivate, change lives. A teacher saying, "You're smarter than you think," can stay in someone's mind for years. A friend saying, "I believe in you," can genuinely change how someone sees themselves. Even the way you talk to yourself matters, because your brain is listening. If every day you tell yourself, "I'm awkward, I'm ugly, I'm a failure," your brain eventually stops debating it. It just accepts the script. Imagine having a roommate who insults you 24 hours a day. Eventually, you'd lose confidence too. Unfortunately, for many people, that roommate is their own inner voice. And the world constantly feeds that voice. News, ads, social media, opinions, comments, trends. Everyone is trying to plant something in your head. Fear, desire, anger, insecurity, hope. Your mind is basically public property at this point, which is why awareness matters. The moment you notice suggestion happening, it loses some power. You start asking, do I actually want this? Do I really believe this? Or did somebody quietly install this thought into my brain? Because not every thought inside your head belongs to you. Some were borrowed, some were planted,